Hello everyone, this is Mridul Kumar Pandey, and in this video we are going to cover the concept of e-rupee, that is a digital payment system. But to understand the concepts related to e-rupee, we first need to understand what is DBT, that is direct benefit transfer. As per the name suggests, direct benefit transfer, it is the system of directly transferring the benefit to the beneficiary in his bank account instead of giving the benefits to any distributor. Now let's understand this with an example. With an example of direct benefit transfer in LPG subsidies. Initially, what happened? Government used to provide the subsidies to distributors who further reduced the price of LPG cylinders and sell it to the beneficiary in discounted price. But the problem with this system was the person who was not even the beneficiary can take benefit of it. It was only known to distributor who all are taking the benefits. There was no full transparency. Government had no idea about who the beneficiaries are, right? So now under this system of directly transferring the benefit to their linked bank accounts, government know about the beneficiary, there is full transparency and there is no chances of leakage. Now Jan Dhan Aadhaar Trinity, it is the initiative to link the Jan Dhan bank accounts to mobile numbers and Aadhaar cards of these beneficiaries to plug the leakage of the subsidies. And payment banks, small finances banks and banking correspondents, all these things are helping the government in this thing. Now we can easily understand the system of e-rupee. As per the government of India's definition, it is a cashless, contactless, person-specific and purpose-specific digital voucher. So here we have keywords like cashless, contactless, person-specific and purpose-specific digital voucher. It is being used, or it will be used to deliver benefits under various schemes like drugs and nutrition support under the mother and child welfare scheme, TB eradication program, drug and diagnostics under the schemes like Ayushman Bharat, PM Jan, like Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana and fertilizer subsidies. All these schemes will be covered by the system of e-rupee. Now let's understand what is e-rupee. As per the definition suggests, a cashless, contactless, person-specific and purpose-specific. So it is a purpose-specific digital voucher. We have four parties, you can say, like the beneficiary who will get subsidies or any kind of benefit, monetary or non-monetary benefits, the sponsor who is providing benefits, and service provider who will provide the benefit, who will deliver the benefit to beneficiary, that is service provider, and banks. So we have four parties. First is beneficiary who will get the benefit, the sponsor who is sponsoring the benefit system, like government of India is the sponsor, or maybe any private body will be a sponsor. Now service provider who will deliver the service to beneficiary, and banks. All these four parties are involved. Now SMS and QR code are the two systems that will be used in e-rupee system. Now let's understand how it works actually. A sponsor is a government entity or a private sector company. Now this sponsor will approach to the bank with details of beneficiary to whom the benefits should be provided. Benefits are to be provided. A sponsor will give the detail of the value of the benefit that will be provided to the beneficiary and the mobile number of the beneficiary. So basically the government entity or a private sector company will be having all the details of the beneficiary that it will be providing to bank, and it will also deposit the amount the beneficiary is going to get in the bank. Now what bank will do? Bank will send a QR code or SMS to beneficiary in his mobile number. Now the beneficiary, after receiving this QR code or SMS, if he is not having a smartphone, he will approach to the service provider who will deliver the service to him and show the QR code and verification code, that is a message actually, to this service provider, and this beneficiary don't need to show any ID card. Now service provider will provide benefit will deliver the benefit to beneficiary, and after the service delivery it approaches to bank to get the amount back. After delivering the services, service provider will approach to bank to get the amount. Okay, now the benefit of this system, what are the benefits? Now we do not need to have a bank accounts. Initially what happened under the system of DBT, in DBT system we need to have a bank account. Beneficiaries need to have the bank account, right? Now banks are not easily available in rural areas. It is not possible for everyone to go to bank. Now again, they do not need a smartphone or internet connection because it is also a challenge in rural areas. In this system, the privacy of beneficiary is also maintained. Only the government or the sponsor know about the details, and bank only know about the details, but the other party, that is the service provider, don't know anything about the beneficiary, so the privacy is maintained. Now again, we do not have any barriers. Beneficiaries will not have to submit huge number of documents. They do not have to go through the hectic process. They do not have to waste too much of time in the long process, and they do not have to face harassment because of the corruption in our system. There will be no long chain system like initially we used to have. Now the list of banks with e-rupee are State Bank of India, Axis Bank, Punjab National Bank, IndusInd Bank, HDFC Bank, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank and ICICI Bank. But everyone is talking about the benefits of the system. No one is actually talking about the concerns, or no one is actually critically analyzing this system. So let's talk about some of the concerns regarding this. The first concern is about ensuring the right beneficiary. Suppose someone will go to service provider to get the benefit, but the service provider cannot identify that the person is the right beneficiary or not, because they will only have to see the QR code, check the QR code, match it, or the SMS and provide the service. It can be a friend of the beneficiary. It can be someone who forcefully is trying to take the benefit under the system. Many of the benefits are provided to women, such as maternity benefits. Maybe her family members forced her take the phone, and now they are using the QR code to take the benefits. So all these are the challenges under this system. The second concern is about the quality of service being provided by service provider, because when we talk about service, it includes monetary and non-monetary services. So let's take the example of hospital. If someone is going to hospital to take any kind of service, there is no guarantee of availability of medicine, availability of bed or proper systems there, all the things to be present there. If you like the video, just subscribe the channel, and you can share it with your friends also. Thank you.